بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وزدنا علما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي So last week, Alhamdulillah, we express our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without, little effort. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still allowed us to gather here. Many others are somewhere in a different place. But Alhamdulillah, we are in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is something that we always thank Allah, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase even more, our closeness to Him. Ameen. So last week we spoke about who can remember, inshallah, if you are present last week, anything? Remember, you are not here, but Brother Gurkan, you are here, yeah? Anything about the pledge? We talked about the pledge. Aqaba, Bay'atul Aqaba. Yes? So now, what happened was the Quraysh, of course, they hear, they heard about this pledge, or about, some group of people coming from Medina. They secretly gathered to meet the Prophet ﷺ. So they heard about, but they want to make sure, they want to confirm if this happened or not. Because if it happened under their nose, they can't, remain and not do anything. They have to do something about this. So what they did, so they sent, they went to the leaders of Medina who were there. So they were very concerned, these Quraysh people, the people of Mecca, because they know the impact. If this happened, the impact on their lives, their way of life, and things like that, their wealth, themselves as well, and also their way of life. And then they went to the people of Khazraj. These are the people of Medina. They said, "Ya ma'shar al-Khazraj, innahu qad balagana annakum qad ji'tum ila sahibina hadha tastakhrijunahu min bayni adhurina." That we heard a rumor or something. We heard that you agreed with this, person, referring to Prophet Muhammad, and then you secretly met with him, and then after that you pledge allegiance to fight against us, ala harbina, to fight us. And then they say, "Wallahi ma min hayyin min al-Arab abghadu ilayna min an tanshab al-harbu baynana wa baynahum minkum." We dislike, it's something that we don't like, that a war happens between us, a war happens between us and you. So this, it says, it's written in the books of Seerah that this was, the jinn who, spread this, rumors, or exposed the meeting. It's a jinn. His name is Azab. The Arabic, English is Z, but it can be it's Azab. Yes. So he, of course, he wanted the mushrikeen to know about this secret meeting. So the Prophet ﷺ said that this is azab, the jinn of al-aqaba. And then the Prophet ﷺ said, to the jinn, "O enemy of Allah, we are leaving you now." Yes, so the Quraysh, they the Quraysh, they just went back. They went back. Hang on. Okay. So one person, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, this one, Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul, he's also one of the, the Medina. He said that this news is wrong. This news is wrong. But he was not a Muslim. He was one of the polytheists, but he also from Medina. He's also from Medina. So when the Quraysh came and they were concerned, they expressed their concern that we heard you guys secretly gathered. He said, "No, this is wrong. I don't think my people will do something like this, and I believe that my people, the people of Yathrib, the people of Medina, will not, come together to, to fight against you or to do something against you." So they were kind of, convinced, but not fully convinced yet. So they just went back, and they did not do. They did not investigate further. But again, after that, they over here, they want to make sure that this, this is what they want to make sure that this did not happen. So the Quraysh, what they did was, they become convinced that this, happened. After that, of course, because the secret will not remain secret, always. Somehow you will hear the truth, the news. So they finally knew that this is happened, this secret pledge and allegiance. So they so when the Medina people from Medina, they left the city of Mecca, returning back to their hometown, they tried to to chase or to get some of the pilgrims, those who came from Medina, to to torture or to hold them back and torture. So, but they did not succeed, except that they caught Sa'd bin Ubadah, this companion of the Prophet ﷺ. So they tortured him, and after that, a person named Al-Mut'im bin Adi and Harith ibn Harb ibn Umayyah, they freed him, they rescued him. These two person, Al-Mut'im bin Adi and Harith bin Umayyah, because they have trade relations with who? With Sa'd ibn Ubadah. So Sa'd ibn Ubadah is the person who was captured and tortured, after this Aqaba pledge. But then these two person, Al-Mut'im bin Adi and Harith bin Harb ibn Umayyah, they rescued him. So this is this happened, of course, before the migration to Medina, before the beginning of the migration to Medina. And then this is like the beginning, the start of, because now there are many numbers of Medina people accept Islam. So that's the Medina, the city of the Medina is going to be the stronghold of Islam. So And also when when the Medina people came for Hajj, they were asking themselves, when do we bring Prophet Muhammad, to our city, so we can protect him, instead of leaving him here in Mecca, abandoned and ignored and even tortured too. Even people are trying to harm him and kill him. So basically, yeah, before migration to Medina, the Quraysh, planned to assassinate the Prophet ﷺ. Of course, this happens. Even Donald Trump, yes. Whether you're bad or good or whatever, okay. When you deal with politics, people assassinate you. This happens. This is the, you can say, the, what is it, Sunnatullah, or the norms of this, living here. Yeah. Huh? Who? Donald Trump. Bleeding ears, huh? But he's still strong. So he was still going like this. He was standing his head high. He's not even scared of getting another bullet. See, people, but many disagree with Trump. They don't like Trump. But again, he's so confident that he believes he's on the straight path. He's the best president of the United States of America. Even people know he's just, a person with bad morals, maybe not so good. But he's not like Joe Biden. He's not too old. That's why. Joe Biden, he's very old. He loses when he speaks. I don't know what he's saying. Yeah, but see, so this also, the Prophet ﷺ, the same, and even us as callers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will face these issues. Some even minor ones or maybe major ones. Assassination, attempt to assassinate someone, that's the major, So
you got influence and you're prolific.
Yeah, prolific. Yeah.
Enemies, you're gonna have support.
Even singers, they get people. Some, yes. That's why they have bodyguards. They have expensive bodyguards. Even scholars, like even mufti, you become, or yeah. So here, inshallah, this one. So we, inshallah, we will mention how the Sahaba, the companions, migrated to Medina. It's not an easy process. It's a difficult one. You have to escape or leave your hometown secretly, because if they know, they will stop you. You can't leave. Imagine if you live in this, country, and you're not having a good life. You're being tortured, being abused, you can't, freely, do what you want in your own home, for example. And you want to escape, they stop you. It's very hard. Yes. Imagine, like if you go to a country for holiday and then something happens in that country, people go for protest and start, destroying buildings and burning cars, even killing people, and the Australian embassy is not helping you to get you out there, then that's living in what? That's very scary, huh?
Back then was Medina and Mecca two different like jurisdictions, or one country, two cities, or was it like just two different cultures, or same?
Two different things.
Two different?
Yeah, government is different. Like the authorities or those who hold authority there. Yeah, different. But they of course they live in that land. So, but now I think it's one government but two different cities. Maybe in that city there's also the mayor or someone who's responsible, for only that city. But yeah, that's so this one. So we will mention some of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ who tried to migrate. So over here we have the first companion of the Prophet ﷺ to migrate to Medina is Abu Salama. Abu Salama radiallahu anhu. He was the first person, and this he migrated before the second Aqaba, the one we talked about last week, that pledge. Just 1 year before that, he went to Medina. Because even then, there were a few Medina people accepted Islam, 12, or even around that number. So he went to Medina. But the people of Makkah did not allow him to leave peacefully. They detained his wife, they detained his son, and of course abused them, subjected them to abuse and torture, and even they lost their son as well. They lost their son. And even Salama, his wife, she remained in Makkah, weeping and crying. And she's separated from her husband. So she spent a year also, just crying and weeping. But then, and between Medina and Makkah, it's around 500 kilometers. Yes, the distance. So it's a far journey. Yes, it's very far. So, but then she managed to escape and to leave Makkah to join her husband. So she traveled on her own, and when she reached a place called Tan'im, so there's one Sahabi, Uthman ibn Talha. He offered her, a company, like, you can come with me all the way to Medina to join your husband. So this is how, her experience migrating to Medina. It's not an easy, experience, or a lovely one. It's full of sacrifice and mujahada. And we do this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As Muslim, it is amazing, because even life is sacrifice, isn't it? You wake up, you go to work in the morning. He works in 6:30, they start 5:30, they have to catch the first train. It's winter, it's windy outside. All that sacrifice, everyone does it, yes? And then they work, at work is so bored. When are you going to finish? I just want to go home and all this, and you have problems with your workmates and then other people as well. Sometimes you get verbal abuse and things like that. We'll all go through that, regardless you're Muslim or not. But if we, our life is as a Muslim, we believe that even that, we go to work, for what? To earn and to worship Allah with that income, even to use that income to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to spend in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All that becomes akhirah, all of it. Even from the first, when we look at it, it's all dunya, it's not. As a Muslim, inshallah, all that becomes our akhirah, with the right intention and the right vision and mission. Even our eating, our sleeping, our going out with our families, all becomes something that will bring reward, and it's like investing in our akhirah. So this Sahabi, for them, these difficulties are nothing. Why that? Because they know, I'm doing this for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they're always happy. That's why a Muslim, the one who has iman, will never be depressed, will never, want to do self-harm. Some people, they get depressed, they want to buy iPhone 15, they don't get it, they start, doing this to their wrist or something, just with that. Or they can't buy this new game, just came out, no money, and they do this, or they maybe drink, maybe like this. A believer will never have that. And we see, mashallah, some people are very poor. They don't even find anything to eat, or they living in a war, killing happening around them. But they're still strong in their faith, and they're not depressed. They don't lose their minds. Their minds are still intact. They're still working properly. So this is the faith we want, the iman we should have. Easy to say it, but one Ustad, I remember, he was talking about patience. He was giving, advice to people about patient, And then the next day, his family, wife, and all his children, they were involved in a car accident, and all of them passed away. And then he said, just yesterday I was talking about patience. Now I can, really, it's hard, than just saying it. Now I'm experiencing what is patient, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, prepares a great reward for those who are patient. So this Sahabi. So another incident, another Sahabi. I think this is, you heard it before, Suhaib al-Rumi. Suhaib al-Rumi. Anyone know his story, how he migrated to Medina? Suhaib al-Rumi. Yeah, so this one, so he came to Makkah first, business and this, to work there. So what happened? He was a poor person. He was not wealthy, but he came to Mecca, and he started trading with the people of Mecca. He became wealthy. Yes, yeah. So he accepted Islam. So he expressed his intention to migrate to Medina. He said, "I want to migrate to Medina." And of course, when the people of Mecca heard this, they said, "No, you can't go there. You have to stay here. You have to stay here." And then, of course, if you proceed, you go to Medina, we will kill you. Your life is on the line here. So he was thinking, okay, look, can will you allow me to go if I give you everything I own? My land, my house, or even my my money. Take it, or you can take it, and let me go. And they say, okay. So he sacrificed everything he owned, And even the Quraysh said, you were poor, you were poor before when you came here, and then you became wealthy because of us, because we treated you well, and we, trade with you, we did business with you, and now you're leaving us, they're trying to convince him to stay. He said, no, I have to leave, and then we can't allow you to leave. But then he told them, you can take everything I have, And then when the Prophet ﷺ heard this, the Prophet ﷺ said, Rabiha Suhaib. Rabiha Suhaib. It means like he has profited. Suhaib has profited. Because this is a trade, which was made for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that sacrifice, that's a big sacrifice. I remember when my parents, they want to take me to Pakistan, see? And they bought tickets, Singapore Airlines, So Singapore Airlines, that's good. Singapore Airlines is a good airline, and they have this, they have screen. I was happy. But then, so we stayed in Singapore for like 3 days and things. It was all good. Singapore is good, yeah? Well, went to Pakistan, to Karachi, landed there. I was thinking, okay, this is different. The sound of the rickshaw, the smoke. And then when I exit the airport, I can start feeling pain in my chest, and then the pollution, and then the bus, telolet, they call it in Indonesia, telolet, ding, 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 all the sound of the bus, they have this, when they horn, ding, 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 they make some musical tunes, So it's so loud. So I was thinking, so many cars, so many people, Allah, and I was thinking, I can't handle this, man. I want to go back, feeling that. And you're with your parents, see? You have, alhamdulillah, accommodation is waiting there and everything. But again, it's not easy, to move from one place to another. It's not an easy thing. So the Sahaba, even for them, it was not easy for the Sahaba. They became sick as well. They're not used to the climate of Medina. It's different. But again, for the sake of Allah, it became what? Easy for them. Yes. So Suhaib, the Prophet ﷺ said, Rabiha Suhaib. He has profited, Suhaib. And then also, we the famous, the second Khalifa of Muslim, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu. He also, migrated to Medina, and also Ayyash bin Abi Rabi'ah. So these three, there are three, Umar ibn al-Khattab, Ayyash bin Abi Rabi'ah, and Hisham bin Al-As Al-As ibn Wa'il. So these three, they managed, except for one. One could not, migrate. He was detained by the Makkah. His name was Hisham. But Umar, they went, and also Ayyash bin Abi Rabi'ah, they succeeded to, it was successful for them to migrate. But for Hisham, he was detained. And when he was detained, of course, they torturing and abusing and things like that. But then, when Umar ibn al-Khattab and also Harith, okay, not Harith, sorry, Ayyash, Ayyash, that's the brother of Abu Jahl. Abu Jahl, yes? We know Abu Jahl, huh? Abu Jahl. So Abu Jahl came to Medina to see his brother Ayyash. He's the one who migrated with Umar radiallahu anhu, strong people, Umar. Yeah, he's Muslim, Ayyash. So I just mentioned the name Umar bin al-Khattab and Ayyash bin Abi Rabi'ah. So they migrated to Medina. So Abu Jahl and also his brother Harith. Harith is a brother of Abu Jahl. They went to Medina to see the third brother, which is Ayyash, to convince him to come back, to return back to Mecca. You know? So they came to Medina, Abu Jahl and Harith. They came to steer his emotions, you know, to talk to him, to convince him, you know, to come back to Medina. And they told him that your mother, you know, your mother, she said that she will not comb her hair, you know, until you come back, you know. You know, like some people, I don't want to eat, I don't want to, you know, take shower until this happens, you know. So this is, they told him that. So your mother said, because, you know, a son has a soft side for his mother, you know. So they're trying to convince him, look, your mother says she's not going to comb. I think her hair will become a bird nest, and there's the only solution will be like to bald, you know, everything. So they made him worry and concerned about, you know, his mother. So he was convinced of it. Yes, okay, I'll go back to see my mother, you know. But Umar radiallahu anhu said, you know, he told him, be careful, you know, these guys are playing tricks on you, you know. Even the shaitan is afraid from Umar, see. So he can see these guys are playing tricks, you know. They're going to do something. Once you go with them, they're going to do something. They're planning something, you know. But Ayyash, you know, he said, no, I still want to go. I still want to go. So what? Okay, if you still want to go, Umar radiallahu anhu said, so take my camel, you know. Take my camel and, you know, travel with my camel. So he helped him still, you know. So when they were traveling, Ayyash and Umayyah and Harith, you know. So Umayyah, you know, Abu Jahl, not Umayyah, Abu Jahl, you know, said to Ayyash, his Muslim brother, you know, said, oh, I think my camel is having some problems. I think it's weak, you know. My camel, I could not ride on my camel. Can I, you know, ride behind you or on your camel, you see? Can I gonceng, eh? What is this? Ride behind you, huh? Piggyback, like with your camel, you know. So, so what? When they, okay, he agreed. He said, okay, let's do that. So when they hop off the camel, and then when they, you know, touch the ground with both of their feet, and you know what they did, they jumped on, you know, Abu Jahl and jumped on Ayyash and tied him up. No. They're not, no, yeah. So they both jumped on him and tied him up, you know. See, they're playing tricks, see. They got him on the ground and they immediately tied him. And then they took him all the way to Mecca in that condition, you know, tied up, can't move. And they showing, you know, to others, you know, and as an example, see. This is what you should do with, you know, the fools, you know, the stupid people. They saying that he's stupid, he's a fool, you know, trying to leave and go to Medina. So you should do with this. You should treat these people like this. Tie them up. You see, this is the thing, you know. And I think our brothers in Palestine are experiencing this. You know, they're not living with dignity. You know, that's why they don't like. Huh? That's how it is. You know, people, if you treat them bad like this, they will never like you, you know, especially. So these are the examples we see how, you know, determined the people of Makkah, the Quraysh, the disbelievers, to stop, you know, everything, to stop the Islam from spreading, to stop Islam to have, you know, its own, what is it called, base, stronghold, you know. They can have for them, it's fine, you know, for us, but for Islam, no, you know. This is what we see too in the political world, what we see. Every country is trying to be the superpower, see, and trying to stop others from being like that. Because, you know, if they know They know, if others are also super, then they have competition now, it's hard. It's hard to, you got to be only you, no one else. So they stop everything. Maybe the knowledge from spreading, they try to, so the Quraysh are doing the same as well. But again, see, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يُرِيدُونَ لِيُطْفِئُوا نُورَ اللَّهِ. They want to, to eliminate or to turn off the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yutfi'u is to, to stop the light of Allah. Nur Allah, the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like how you stop a fire, you blow on a candle to stop the fire. They want to blow, extinguish, that's the word. Yes, extinguish the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to get rid of it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَاللَّهُ مُتِمُّ نُورِهِ. Allah will complete his nur. Even if the disbelievers dislike, وَلَوْ كَرِهَ الْكَافِرُونَ. And we see this will continue until the last day, day of judgment. Allah keep, even we contribute or not, we contribute, we want to be part of it, or we're not part of it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions, Allah will, complete his nur. Okay, so inshallah these are the examples we see, the stories of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ migrating to Medina. And also in Bukhari there's a narration, there's a hadith from Aisha radiallahu anha that the Prophet ﷺ, he informed the Muslims, he informs his companions that he said, I saw in a dream the place of your migration. I saw in a dream the place of your migration, palm trees or date palm trees, date trees or between two mountains. So these, it's Medina, yes? Many date trees. Pohon korma, the date trees. And we know there's another migration happened also before Medina. Anyone remember? Migration to Abyssinia, yes. Yes, Abyssinia to Ethiopia. Our brother is not here. What's his name from Ethiopia? Mahmoud. Ethiopia. Habasha. Yes, so so those who migrated to Ethiopia, they also migrated to Medina. And then finally Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. Yes, so his story of migration is mentioned in detail. Yes, so he wanted to migrate as well. He was preparing, his ride, but then the Prophet ﷺ said, wait, be patient, wait. And he understood, the Prophet ﷺ wants to be, wants him to, accompany the Prophet in his journey to Medina. So he knew that. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu said, do you hope for that? Do you hope, do you want me to be your company? Of course, yes. So that's why Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he prepared 2 she-camels, two camels, one for himself, one for the Prophet ﷺ, and he fed the camels leaves. Of course, leaves. In the narration, it says waraq samar. Samar is a plant in the desert. It looks like a umbrella tree. It's called umbrella tree. It has horns, yes. Acacia, yes. So that tree, he fed them. That's good for food for animals as well. And it's like an umbrella. It gives shade. Giraffes is tall. Yes, giraffes have very tall neck. They can reach that high, and it's for shade as well. Even there's in one hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he came back from a battle. He was resting under that tree, and then one person, took his sword and said, "He's gonna stop you from me now," And then he said, "Allah,"
Growing up, you watch that Lion King movie.
Yes.
The tree in Lion King.
Yes. Yeah.
When I went to Africa a long time ago,
Yeah.
when I seen that tree,
I don't know.
that's that tree from Africa. You know straight away when you see it.
Yeah.
It's very unique to Africa, that tree.
Yeah,
You see
yes.
it in real life, you know.
Yeah. You see, when I was studying Seerah, I asked, my teacher, what's this tree looks like, And so for hard for him, he doesn't have phone or smartphone or, back then, I think there was a Nokia, those small phones, you can't really, but now you can just show it to your student, Google it, and if it's there, and they understand even better, they see that tree, they can even read about it, they see the, tons of pictures of that tree, So thanks to technology, it's something good as well. Because I was asking, what tree is that? He just described it's like this, that's it. But you're not fulfilled, But when you see the thing, even if you see with your own eyes, and you can touch it even, and then the seerah, you understand the seerah even better as well. So even if when Allah gives us, the chance to go to, Makkah or Medina, and explore these many sites, maybe you need days there to just go here and there and see. It's a amazing opportunity or experience. Even other places like the cave of Kahf, or Palestine, inshallah, Allah give us the chance. Hopefully the situation becomes better there. So inshallah, so Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu fed his 2 camels that from the leaf of that tree. It's called in Arab Shajaratu Samar. English is acacia. And so next, inshallah, we will talk about the Quraysh. There's a Nadwa, Darun Nadwa. It's called. It's a council of the parliament, you can call the House of Parliament of the Quraysh. It's where they plan things, Yeah, in Makkah. So over here they plan to assassinate basically the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And inshallah, so we will discuss about this inshallah next week. And inshallah read books. Anyone have seerah books at home, inshallah read them. Yeah, even when I was studying, our teacher said read, before you study. So read ahead, even read, because that will strengthen the knowledge we have. Because when you read something repeatedly, it'll be very hard for you to remember. And I have, mashallah, one, there was our school, Darul Uloom Faulkner, that they were attending a competition, Islamic quiz competition. So it's all about Islamic, knowledge, about seerah, about many things, other topics about Quran, about. So it was actually led by, I think it was Elim College. So they started this, program. It's inter-school quiz competition. So there's one student. Now he graduated, but he was in Faulkner. But I noticed he reads, the seerah book. He loves reading. So our school won all the time, And now they don't have it anymore. Maybe they, we just gave up because they keep winning the Darul because of that boy, and other boys as well. Because the key is they read a lot again and again, and that's why it's good for us to have this seerah even with our families, with our kids. It's not hard. It's not hard. You can read books and then you can give da'wah. Even you can discuss with your children, with your family. It's a good thing to have at home, and even read from books of hadith like Riyadus Salihin, books of hadith, many books, or any Islamic book you read. It will be beneficial, inshallah. It will increase our iman, and it will improve our iman and the iman of our generation to come, inshallah. So question time? No question. Any discussion? Anyone wants to add anything, inshallah, feel free to do so. Yeah, we're all learning here. We're all learners. Yes.
I'm always asking a question. But at the start,
No, it's good.
You said the Rima was said to be from the jinn.
Azib, yes, the jinn Azib.
Is that from how do we know the commentary of that? Is that from hadith or is that?
Yeah, hadith. Yeah.
Oh, hadith.
Narration from the Prophet. But if it's strong, I think it's acceptable.
I just don't know like how that.
Yes, yeah. All this seerah is from narration as well. It's like there is, narrating this, all the names, all the way to companion, or all the way to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yes. So it's like hadith narration. Yes. And some are fabricated as well, narrations, in things in seerah, which we scholars know, and they talk about it. If it's a fabricated incident, something made up, yes. طيب. Yes, anything?
The third brother, Abu Jahal, when he's tied up to Mecca,
Yeah.
what happened to the brother? Is there any seerah on that?
Oh, after that,
Yeah.
I think someone rescued him. No, let me check again.
It's just interesting to know.
Yes, that's a good question. That one. So fools.
Or did Umar save him? Or?
It should be Omar, but there's no mention here again. Yeah, maybe there's something about that Sahabi. His name was Ayyash bin Abi Rabi'ah. But I have to look over here. There's nothing mentioned. Yes. Anyone know what happened to him? We will look if there is, because all this we come to know from narrations. If we find in books, we get to know. Otherwise, we don't know. This is unseen. It happened previously.
But it ties in with the timing of the parliament and the discussion to assassination. It all comes within that same time, or is this random?
Which one?
Them tying him up and bringing him back to Mecca.
Yeah.
And saying that he's what we do to fool.
Yeah.
And then the assassination discussion.
Yeah, it's just, with the same year. Yes. Of course, this is getting big now.
Yeah.
So the only thing to do is what? Kill the.
It's becoming a problem.
Yes, getting big.
Little things are contributing.
Yeah, because they knew if Medina becomes a stronghold of Islam, we have a competition here, and they will take over Makkah. That will happen. They for sure know it. They are also smart in these things. They're very intelligent. So they say now we have to. This is the last resort. Because they don't want to kill Prophet Muhammad maybe, but we must do this. And to do that, the story is interesting too. They divided. It's not from one tribe only. They have from each tribe a person to do it. So